Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the EUphoria podcast here in winter 2025 in the LEC. I'm Drakos, that's Dagda, and today we were joined by Yike and Flakked.
Yeah, we ran down kind of their memory lane and what it was like being on members of G2, and then the transition from what was their rookie in G2, now taking over as kind of the mentors and the elders on their respective squads.
We also took a look back at some of their most embarrassing first moments in the league and some of their most hype moments as submitted by you, the fans. There's going to be a lot of videos in today's episode, so while in podcast land, you guys will get the audio from that. If you want the full experience, you might want to check us out on YouTube. If you're already here, you're in the right spot. Let's get into it. All right, welcome, boys. It's been a long day. Full disclosure, recording this at the end of the final day of games in week 2. Thank you both for staying and for coming on. We knew when we requested both of you, it was a bit of a flip.
Yeah.
Because one of you was going to be in a good mood and one of you was going to be in a bad mood. And Flakked, I'm sorry, you came up on the bad side of the coin.
It's fine. I deserve it. Like after the level one we did, we deserve it.
Talk to me about today's game. I mean, is the level 1 just it? If you had to sum up that game, like everything from there.
No. I mean, I think we made a lot of mistakes. Of course, level 1 was like really big. But as well, I think when it comes to like fighting, we used like every ulti on like Jinzao for fun. And it was like until like minute 30 that we realized, we actually like outrange, And I think we were like, 10k behind and we were still winning fights. But I think that's kind of like the game. I think level 1 and like the fights we took, they were like really bad early.
Yeah, how do you feel as the Zinzao who ate every
I was going to say, what's a Yike do to you?
For sure.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Like, it was very funny. But yeah, I think it was also I was like telling my team, as soon as I have mercs, they can't like keep going on me. Because I know they could do it before. I think you guys made a good fight to like Grubs, I think. And you guys got Drake as well. So you guys played good. Oh no, on Dragon you killed me as well. So you guys did good, even after the level 1 disaster. So yeah.
I mean, Rob, you cast it. I will say, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, I was really surprised when you guys were able to start taking fights and coming back. Yeah. And I know you're probably upset that was the case because your instincts were right. They did have a 10,000k gold lead and you were still finding picks. You got the dragons. Like, how did you feel watching that?
To be honest, I thought you lads played some of your team fights really, really well. Like, I think Carlson smurfed in that one fight where he just drew a ton of attention, then jumped away from Targmas's ult as well. And then catching the KC guys with the way as well was sick. But like, it was kind of like, this game's over. We're kind of finding stuff to talk about. And then Heretic started winning a couple of fights and we're like, what's happening here? You're still really far down. This shouldn't be happening. But then eventually it was closed out. But yeah, there was one or two where you're kind of like, this is still a big gold lead, but they're winning fights. What's happening?
We kind of griefed it. Like, we can just probably do the objectives and end, or we can all probably just end cleaner, just playing the fights better. But I think we were too excited, and then we were like, okay, I guess we just have to wait for Baron and Elder. For Soul, and then we fought again.
For you, Flakked, what's like the biggest thing right now that you guys are thinking about? Because you have, one of the freshest rosters in the league. Is it just like 1 week at a time? Is it transitioning scrim performance to stage performance? Like, what's the biggest thing that you guys are focusing on?
I mean, the first week was kind of like a test to see like where we are, like especially on stage, because with the new guys, like people react different and it's natural. But I think especially after today, we really need to. I mean, we're working on like habits, but we still need to like work a lot on it because I think today it was. Level 1 was like
level. It's like I wish you would come in on a different game. The problem is that level 1 just kind of ruins a lot of the conversation.
But the thing is, like after level 1, like we actually made gank on bot and we took like flashes and then we killed them. So like we kind of griefed, but they kind of griefed back. But I think like fundamentals of the game, like this game were like really terrible. And everyone like we talked about it after the game, and this for sure. This is the thing we're focusing on, and it like this week showed that we need to keep focusing on it because like especially today, I think the game was just lost in like legit like pure fundamentals.
How do you feel though when you kind of like, hey, look, messed up in fundamentals? Do you feel a little bit more heartened that you do have these good team fights later on? That you're like, oh look, we can actually like if we had the gold in an even state, this could be a winnable game, or is it just kind of like more disheartening in the fact that you're still winning these fights, but it could have gone differently. Like, is it a boon? Like, does it help you, or is it more saddening?
I mean, today I think it's a bit more saddening because we actually like predicted like the entire draft. Like we legit knew like the 5 champs we were gonna have and the 5 champs they would have. Like we actually like today we already knew from like draft meeting and stuff that what we were gonna play against. So maybe another day I would tell you, you know, like being able to fight back, because I mean there's for sure like some people on stage that when they're behind they actually, I mean, they don't like give up, but it's like, yeah, the game is lost, you know. But we actually like kept fighting. I mean, as well, the draft helped a lot, right? Because I think fights, in, like when it comes to like team fights, with the poke we have in the range, it's actually hard for them. But yeah, today I think like the point of view is a bit more saddening because we knew what we were gonna play against, like but like both compositions work. And then we went to game level 1 and then then the Yike got ulted by 4 different people in that team fight.
I found the ults.
So yeah, it was I mean, maybe another other day I would be like, you know, we played bad, but we actually like put the attitude and everything. But like today for sure is more saddening for sure.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like it's rough to. That sucks. Like I can say I know, but I don't know. I haven't been in that position, right? I can only compare it to the closest similar experiences I have, which are never going to be the same as what you guys are going through. Yeah, like from your perspective, I feel like KC's off to like pretty insane start. KC fans will tell you, duh. A lot of other people are like, okay, I can see it, you know. But how does it feel to be where you're at so early in the split, to like know you're qualified for playoffs before you even play your last 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it feels very good. I was obviously also a bit like nervous going to the split because we never know what's going to happen. Like we have like 2 very young players, like Karist and Vladi. Vladi plays the summer split, so he has some experience. But yeah, I was always a bit scared. I think everyone's like a bit scared, even when I was in G2, I was like scared going into like the regular. But we started playing our games and it went like very well. Like I think us winning against G2 and Coin the first week really gave us a lot of confidence as well. And I think we started showing it like this week as well, like the way we played and the way we like ended like the first and second game this week versus like SK and Rogue. We played like very aggressive, and I really like that from us. So yeah.
Are you worried at all that because every once in a while there's teams that like, are you a momentum team? Do you think? Is it going to be like KC loses a best of 3 and it's all boom, everything implodes? Or do you think it's going to be smooth sailing?
No, I don't think it's going to be like we lose a best of 3 and it's like cooked for us. I think we're going to be fine. It's hard to know yet because we only lost we haven't played best of 3s yet. Like scrims like are right now like best of 5, or not best of 5, but like 5 games. So it's a bit more different. But yeah, we will just see later. But I think we're going to be good anyways.
Overall, I mean, I'm excited for both you guys. I don't want to spend too much time talking about recent performance because we didn't actually bring you here to talk about. I mean, a little bit about your teams, but we brought you here more to talk about you.
Which is more terrifying.
Which is more terrifying and potentially more embarrassing. But you guys have both undergone a big transformation this year. And to just remember where you came from, we're going to do a new segment. Shout out to our writer, Chris. Run it down memory lane, where we're going to talk to you a little bit about the start of your career. And we have some clips to go through. And Flakked, we'll get you out of the way first. Yeah. This is kind of like, this is the mercy killing. We're not going to make you. We're just going to get yours done and out of the way. So Bara, if you've got the clip ready, if we can take a look at some of our early Flakked moments.
Welcome back to the LEC, and I'm joined by the victorious Flakked.
I think I'm experiencing like digital footprints right now.
How does it feel to be here in your first match in the LEC?
Thank you so much, actually. It feels really insane being here.
Really insane.
It's so much hype playing from the stage. It's true that we don't have crowd yet.
Oh yeah, actually.
It's completely different experience than playing from home. Yeah. It is true that you play maybe a bit shaky. Like I was sometimes feeling a bit uncomfortable. But it was really insane playing from here.
What?
Sorry, Ashley's reaction.
Was G2 finding, or you personally finding a bit uncomfortable?
I mean, no, it was just like I'm so short and the screen is so like.
I was so uncomfortable.
Sometimes I cannot see, like this scoreboard and stuff.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, dude. I was so uncomfortable. It was actually crazy, by the way.
Dude, what was it like starting in the pandemic? We didn't really have, I just feel like you've always been here. So I didn't remember until we looked back today that you were playing when there weren't fans in the studio, that you were in those transitionary years. Was that like, how did that feel for you coming from, like ERLs? And when you were in ERLs, did you get to play stage events? I actually can't remember.
I mean, I played on stage, but like really few times.
Yeah, because you played with Mad, right? Was it the last play you had before transitioning to G2, and it was Arctic or whatever?
I mean, it was like
right?
full COVID times as well, so it was like there was like nothing.
Okay, yeah.
Like the only thing I played on stage, it was like the Winter Cup in Spain.
Yeah,
but it was that. Like
So-
outside from that, like maybe one like best of one on stage, but like not much.
Yeah, but how was that transition coming into? Was it hard to take seriously? Was it weird? Like, what was it like to go from, you're playing in the Spanish league, then you're on G2, obviously a team with a lot of expectations, but you're playing in an empty studio every week. Like,
I mean, to me, it's banked, by the way. But to me, it's banked because like there was like not many. I mean, it was like only Riot, right?
Yeah.
But I was like chilling with the boys. Everything was like so silent, and I mean, I like playing with crowd, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it felt. I don't know. Like it's hard to explain. It's like it felt like I don't know. I was with the boys and we just had so much aura, It's actually aura. Like the best explanation is aura. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it was just banging. I remember like some part of playoffs as well. We didn't have crowd, and I'm not sure if for like finals there was like a really small crowd, but it was just like it felt like going into like a temple or something.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
I mean, everyone's kind of there for you as
Yeah.
the players at that point. Like, no one else is there for anything else. It's like the casters go to their corner, and then everything is on the players. You have like 50 staff members, no one else, just to set you up to play.
I mean,
Kind of like scrims with a cooler background.
Yeah, legit. It's like tryhard scrims or something.
Yike, what were you doing in that time? Because I'm looking at your competitive history now, and you were obviously playing, but I assume a lot of this was online. Do you remember what you were doing in terms of like gameplay during the pandemic? Did you do any live events before that?
No, there was never any live events. I had never done it. I think I started in, I guess, 2022. That was, when you were in G2. And I think what I did was with, like in LFL, there's like the LFL days. And that's like one or two, the one weekend where we went to Nice. And I think we played somewhere else as well. Maybe Paris or Lyon. But that was like the only thing I did. So there was like 1 or 2 days. And that was like I was very scared because I thought I would not enjoy, like I was kind of hyped for like the COVID stuff because I also didn't want to play in front of a crowd because I was just scared playing in front of the crowd. But then after I went to LFL days and I had like played in front of the crowd, it was like very different. I really liked it. And then from there on, I just started like liking it more.
Was there anyone who gave you like any tips or anything for going onto the stage for the first time? Was it because you see people come out with the ruler and they're like, oh yeah, match it to your desk at home and all that kind of stuff. Like, did you get that, or was there a ritual that someone came along and said, hey, this is how you can calm yourself, or was it just like, off you go, do your job?
For me, it was just I just went there. I did my thing, even though I was nervous. I just did my thing. I don't think I got like anything special. No.
What was the transition like for you when you went from like COVID, very tiny crowd to like playing in some of those bigger arena matches?
I mean, I think like the biggest arena it would be. I think it was like summer finals LEC, because I think MSI. I mean, the crowd was big, but we didn't. I mean, we actually played semifinals, but I don't know, it didn't look that big. The crowd when we were in Korea.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was gonna say it banged the experience, but we got 0-3, so yeah. I mean, it was really cool. Like the arena was so big. It was in Malmo.
Yeah, was it hard for you to transition at all though? Like not having the same, because I think normally with the success that you guys had, right, you would normally get more crowd experiences. So you kind of were in a weird position where you went from 0 to 100 really quick.
I mean, to me, like especially that year in G2 was like everything from 0 to 100, right? So I came from Spain, and I mean, in Spain I didn't get like the best results, of course. Yeah. And then I go to G2 after like Sabin Reckless.
Yeah.
And everything is happening. So at that point, like, I legit like kind of like speedrun everything. So he was like, I mean, just if you want me to play naked on stage, I might be down, it's whatever. It's like the stakes went high, like insanely fast. So I was kind of just like, yeah, I mean, I need to play in front of a million people. Sure, it's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah.
It sounds like you feed off that energy though, like a lot. So what does that mean when you're playing? Like, what difference do you actually feel? Is it you feel braver to go for a play, or you just feel more confident in that? Like, what is it? How does that manifest in your actual gameplay?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think, as well, like, it depends on the team, how the team is feeling, but as well, crowd, especially when maybe for Yikes is kind of similar because like Casey and G2 are like big fan bases.
Yeah.
But I think when I was in G2 and usually it was like, especially the year I was playing, it was like kind of like either G2 or Fnatic because the other teams they weren't like that hot, I would say. So I was like really confident on the team and we were playing really good. And as well, like most of the crowd was like G2. Yeah. So it really felt like, you can just go for whatever. And it just gave you like really good vibes. And yeah, I mean, to me, I don't really mind the crowd because at some point you're like so locked in that you don't even hear anything. But for sure, like after you win a game, especially in like if it's like a series, and you take off the headset and you hear all the noise, it feels really, really insane.
Do you remember that Kaisa game at MSI?
Oh my god, yeah, I remember.
Bro, I remember.
I saw it. Someone posted it on like because you guys made the post of like what are the moments, and I saw someone put the guys at MSI. Oh, that day was insane.
Bro, you understand? Because I was like, guys, I'm not sold on Flakked. I don't know how good he is. And then all the NA casters saw that clip and they're like, what the are you talking about? Like, do you see that? It's like, why are you talking shit? Like, look at him go. I was like,
that day was insane. Because like in the same day we beat T1 and RNG. Yeah. And it was MSI, so only first seed was going. So for like that day, we were like the best team in the world. Then we got T1 in semifinals. We got 3-0. But that day felt insane. Yeah. That day felt so good.
For you, Yike, what's the transition to stage like? Was it the same thing where you just feel that momentum? Obviously, you've consistently had that crowd support. Is it energizing for you? Is it scary? Like, how do you react to that amount of attention and pressure?
Yeah, for me, before going on stage, I was always scared. But then, as soon as I went on stage, whenever I hear like the crowd cheering, it always like hyped me up. I got just so excited. Like, I remember beginning in like G2, it was just like so many G2 fans cheering my name, and it was like my first time like actually having like fans cheering my name, and that felt very special to me. So I was very happy. Even going like to Montpellier, that was like the first big stage I played on. It was like an amazing feeling. Also because we won, I guess. But
definitely helps. Probably changes how the memory feels.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Bar, if you have it ready, I think we've spared Yike for long enough. Let's take a look back at the early days of Yike, early interviews.
Let's see it.
As I said, you're a rookie joining the
the
LEC
hair.
this year. Tell me about the expectations you have for yourself and what kind of player do you want to become?
Yeah, well, I'm a rookie and I've probably replaced like one of the best junglers in the West. So it's for sure a lot of pressure on me, and I try every day to do my best and and to like improve every day. And I want to become the best in everything. I want to become the best.
I couldn't focus when I saw this.
It's out of the focus.
I don't know if production can show what is happening here, but G2 fans have been crazy throughout the entire weekend in the studio. This is the first time you get to see something like this. How does this make you feel?
Yeah,
having so much support.
We have so many fans, and it feels like incredible. I'm so thankful for every fan that comes here and cheer for us. It feels amazing.
Good job.
Man,
you handled that well.
Shit, yeah.
I didn't watch these ahead of time. I thought that was going to be worse.
Yeah,
I thought that for sure that was going to be worse.
No, I mean when I watched it first, I felt I looked very, very shy, and I mean I was very shy. So
you have a better haircut now too. I like your haircut more now.
Yeah, but no, for sure, like I was very nervous doing. I don't know if it was like my first interview, but yeah, I could see on myself that I was like very scared. But like G2 fans, they helped me, and
it's kind of hard to give you a really serious like sports answer. I'm gonna do my best to, when there's people just
I didn't know what to say.
Of course, if you're listening at home and you're not sure what the clips are that we were talking about, feel free to check them out on YouTube. Clips from early post-game interviews with both Yike and Flakked. I realize we might have left you guys behind there a little bit in terms of seeing what's going on, but I promise it's goofy and funny, and you should watch it when you get the chance. Replacing Jankos is crazy. It's also funny to me given the context of what we talked about. Right before we started recording, talking about just the absolute content genius that is Flakked over here. Just roasting Jankos, hoping it ends up in the mic
I
check.
do it by mistake, by the way. I don't even realize. I'm just roasting in Burma. But he's probably roasting me as well because he told me that because I saw like the Rogue announcement that he's like kind of like co-streaming or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, you went with Rogue? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna analyze in detail every single click, every clip you miss. I'm gonna flame the shit out of you. I'm like, no way, bro. Shut up, rat.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the guy you replaced.
Yeah.
So he's doing, at least he's doing well for himself if he's co-streaming. But yeah, I can imagine that he's just gonna roast you every single time.
I mean,
That's the
I
pressure.
mean, like you know, for like the fans and the cameras, it's like
Yeah.
roasting me in like meme way. I mean, sometimes it's deserved though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I talk with him like usually daily. We perma sending like Instagram reels, like the most like brain rot thing every day. But he actually like sent me like from time to time he sends me like messages of like nice job this week or like who do you play next week, whatever. So I mean, for like just some people don't think we actually like hate each other. I consider like Jankos like my big brother, so
Yeah.
I really love him. But like roasting him, he just feels
That's
really
part of
good.
it. It's part of it. People who don't have a brother, like people
Yeah.
don't have friends like that, aren't going to get
Yeah.
it for sure. I like that.
I take it, Yike, you weren't getting messages from Jankos saying,
No, I was not.
Like, who's that person for you? I don't think people are going to see that as much, but who's that person for you that you're like down to roast them? Who's that pro that you used to play with, the person you spent time with, where you guys like check in on each other and talk your shit?
I mean, I would say probably right now it's probably Mickey. Like, yeah, for sure. Like me and Mickey have kind of similar like kind of relation, and it's fun, you know. I talk to him like not daily maybe, but we talk to each other. We talk about, you know, because we kind of in the same situation right now
Yeah,
after what
yeah.
happened to G2. So yeah, I like to talk with Mickey. He's like a very nice guy, very down to earth, and he's very easy to banter with as well. So it's fun.
Dude, I love that stuff. It's always so good to see how like the teammate relationships change over the years. Obviously, we see Flakkeds a lot more because everyone this is the thing I love about you is everyone you're teammates with that you have a strong relationship with will talk about you forever. It's the same thing with BB. It's the same thing with Jankos, right? Like all these people are always like whatever is going on with you, they're talking about you. They're bringing you up. I love to see those relationships. But coming into this year, I think one of the things I've looked at, and one of the things I've considered is 2023, right? You came in, huge changes, 30 roster changes, 10 rookies. 2025, same thing. A lot of the players that were around when you first started, completely gone. And a decent amount of the players that went around when you were here are gone. Like we have not a completely new, but we have a very, very different league. How do you guys feel about all the rookie talent coming in? You don't have to name anyone specific, but what is your impression on like this latest generation of people coming into the LEC?
I mean, yeah, I think it's just fun to see new players. I think it's always nice to see new players and giving new players like an opportunity to show themselves. And I think this year the rookies look like pretty good, you know. I think there's like a lot of good rookies. Obviously, I'm gonna like shout out Kalist. Obviously, he's doing very good, and I think the other rookies are also doing good. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how like the year goes for everyone. And yeah, I'm always up for, you know, rooting for the rookies to make it go well for them.
Yeah. Flakked, how are you feeling about it? You're the man at the center
I mean,
of a rookie roster, right?
I kinda share the same view as Jack. I think it's it's always good and refreshing for like everyone just to see new talent and see how they develop and as well for the league, right? Because maybe there's like some new personalities as well. Because there are some players though that they've been in LEC for years, but they just refuse to appear in like social media. So I think it's always good to like not only give the chance of like gameplay wise, like as a professional player, but as well as like I mean not like branding, but yeah, I mean like just like maybe you get like one more new face in LEC or like one guy that is like giving a lot of show and everything. So it's always good, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry. So one of the things that I've seen with a lot of rookies is like you almost have to try and change your identity nerdy a bit when you come into the LEC because it's like, hey, look, the game operates in a different way, or like I can't play as aggressive and stuff like that. And especially I kind of noticed it with yourself, Yike, because you to me in EMEA Masters were the Kazakhs guy and the Viego guy, right? And then you come into LEC and G2 are like, no, you're on Mount Kyrell, have fun, buddy. So like, how do you try and grow within that when it feels like you got picked to come to the LEC for this style you were known for, and then you have to try and grow? Because I feel like so many rookies have to deal with that when they come into the league.
Yeah, I mean, I I kind of liked it in the beginning because I really love to just learning new champs and just adapting. And for sure, my weakness was just playing these like tank champs or like engage champs like Rel, Maokai, all these kind of different champs. And yeah, I was the Viego guy, Kha'Zix, Graves, playing these champs. We even did it in the beginning of like 2023. But yeah, I mean, if you want to be the best, I think you have to be able to play like the strongest champs. And at that point, for like 3 years now, it's been Maokai, for example. So I'm just the Maokai guy now, which is kind of funny. But I mean, for sure, like the old me would never expect myself to just be playing like Maokai, you know, Perma.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Like Flakked, when I think back on you and you were coming to the league, everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's Draven. This is the guy, the Draven."
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
But then by the end of your tenure, it's like, "This is the Senna Seraphine."
Yeah,
Yeah. How do you feel about that transformation of your identity? Like, how was that process for you? Because I think it's similar to Yike. Like, you guys were both on your way up. I think probably like a lot of players in ERL, able to show off maybe some of these flashier picks, and then you come into a new team. In this case, both of you G2, and it's like, now you're playing a role, buddy. And you still got your Draven games, don't get me wrong. But what was that like for you?
I mean, to me, it's kind of like the same mindset as Jack. Like when I came to G2, I mean, I didn't take anything for granted. And it was for me just basically just a chance to like try to learn from everything and from everyone. So to me, I was just kind of like adapting to what the team needed. But to me, I feel like I'm really versatile. So I like to play a lot of champions and especially a lot of bullshit, you know. Like I think like the most disgusting things you can expect me to play. So to me it banged because we could kind of play pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I mean, same way goes in ERL, but in ERL it's kind of like people is not punishing you, and in LEC it's. I mean, in G2 it felt better because you can just pick everything, like anything, and yeah, I mean, I really like playing anything pretty much. And what I was talking right in G2, the people were just like really respecting because I remember I was picking Seraphine and I was talking with Dylan. Like some Seraphine angles were like illegal, like legit. If they actually click forward, my champion would be like 100 CS down. But I was actually like getting pushed in so many games. I remember I think it was against Rogue. One game we played like Varus mid, like Caps was playing Varus mid into Asir. Yeah. And I was playing Senna Seraphine and we were like destroying them on bot when it was like not supposed to go that way. But yeah, I mean, I really like playing every single champion pretty much. And now we have in LEC the Fearless. Yeah. Hopefully I really trust on the boys and the team and myself. Yeah. That we make it next week because
then you get a cook.
Yeah, I think on Fearless we can actually like cook.
You had your lore interview. Yeah. One of your 3 words was cooking. We need to see the cooking.
We have a lot of cooking, but I mean, best of one side.
All right, hold on. Before we move on, I have one completely useless question that I desperately want an answer to, and maybe you guys can't give it to me. But in the last like 2 years of your career, what is the most degenerate champion you've tried in scrims that you won't, that is unlikely? Like, I don't want you to ruin any future planning you have, but what is the weirdest thing you practice that you can share with us that's not going to put any new current strategies in jeopardy?
For sure, something crazy.
I mean, I have a lot.
You can pick one. Yeah, again, don't give anything away that will hurt your chances. That, when we get to Fearless.
No, but I mean, I can say it because I'm for sure not playing this shit. I mean, I remember against Fnatic because we were prepping. Yeah. Because basically it was like we were qualified for finals already in summer.
Yeah.
So it was like Rogue and Fnatic, and we really expected Fnatic to win because they were playing way better overall. So we were like practicing a lot of like dirty things on bot lane just to face them. And I remember in one scrim we played like Yon AD carry with like Ashe into Zeri or something like this. Then other games I was playing like, I don't know, it was disgusting. Some games I played when we were playing Senna, I was playing like Cassante as well. Some games, it was just. What? I was playing like, especially with Target, we were playing like the most disgusting. Like it was like one of these days that enemy team would just say, "Yeah, this is disgusting practice," you know.
Like, yeah, this is useless. Like that's why you're doing this.
You remember like the Wunder Adam Panther that he speaks Yumi top.
The Yumi.
So I could feel like. I for sure could feel upset some days against us in scrims. He was like, there's no way they're pulling this disgusting Yon Ashe on bot. Bro,
all I'm saying is if you make it to level 3, people, Yon, it's not that bad.
I mean, we actually played John Ash into 30 something, and we actually stumped them.
That's
we
crazy.
actually stumped them. But yeah, I mean, we didn't pull it. We didn't pull it off on stage.
I think that's pretty fair, bro. I can't. That sounds awful. Although I will say, like, as someone who's played with a lot of Senna who has to compensate, like if you have a good Senna next to you,
Yeah,
you can get away.
I mean, Targa Senna was so
Targa
good.
Senna was crack. You can get away with a lot of dumb combos.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Senna's
for sure,
just
for sure.
so strong.
I just can't wait to cast your game and be like, hold up, the Yone's deflection.
Yeah.
Go back.
We know now. All right, I know you have some dark technology. I know some of it, but I don't know what's still
I
relevant
mean, we
to
played
you.
some. I mean, we did play some crazy stuff, but we also played a lot on stage. You know, like the random like Evelyn and like fiddlestick stuff when it wasn't really played. I think the crazy thing that I was considering playing, I played in solo queue. I don't know if we played on scrims, but there was like one point where Timo Jungle was like very OP. Like I don't know how many. It was last year. It was like very OP. It was like Timo Jungle top, and I think both me and Bibi like considered it. But it never. I think actually Bibi played it. Actually, wait, I don't think I'm leaking it. No.
Whoops.
well, we play G2 next week.
No, I think Bibi played it once scrim, the Timo top, and I wanted to play a Jungle too because it was actually strong, you know. And there was like a point where it's actually OP in solo queue, but. No Timo.
Rest in peace, boys.
Oh,
All right, I'm
so
sorry,
close.
I derailed this. I just had to know. You know what I mean? You've both been on so many rosters that play weird
The
stuff.
funny thing was, I was gonna say, it felt like when both these joined, you had to fit into the G2 like system. But now I'm hearing about these picks. I'm like, no, you didn't. You got to do whatever the fuck you wanted.
I mean, yeah.
But I think it was just like because I was curious to see like, especially for yourself, Flakked. It's like I think when you're coming into G2 and they've already got like the established veterans, it's like, oh well, I have to fit into what they're doing. But I think for yourselves, because it's 3 new guys that are coming into the team, obviously you start to rebuild. So when you're trying to build around those rookies and you kind of have to be the leader of the team, are you trying to facilitate more for them? And you're saying, hey, I will be the flexible one, or do you say, hey, this is the way I think the game should be played, and they have to kind of bend to what you think is the way it should be played?
I mean, I think when it comes to gameplay, I think it's like really like heavily impacted by the meta, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if there's like Varus Kalista meta, there's not like much room for like being flexible from like my perspective. But yeah, I mean, I just I mean, I'm always down to just kind of play like the sacrifice role or like the more versatile role as well, because I play a lot of champs. But I think when it comes to like game understanding and like just like knowledge overall, I really want them to just speak up their minds, how they feel about the game, how they see the game, so we can be more on the same page. I'm kind of like, this is my personality. I'm more willing to adapt to what other people think rather than like trying to enforce something into someone's head, unless I know for a fact that, for example, if I'm playing Draven, you need to give me the kills. If now Camilo comes and he's like, no, let me the kill, I get lost chapter. I'm like, yeah, get the kill, I installed for the scrim, you know? It's like, there's no way this is happening. But yeah, I'm always like really willing to just adapt to everyone, because as well, especially for I mean, everyone is like a rookie at some point.
Yeah.
So coming into LEC as a rookie, it depends, but like usually there's a lot of pressure. So I'm just trying to make it like as comfortable for them as much as I can. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I do.
How did you figure out what was important to you when you first came in? Was there someone on, was it G2, or maybe, because you've had a crazy journey to get back to LEC, right? Like, how did you go through the process of figuring out what you felt like was really important when it came to working with rookies? Is it stuff that you liked when people were working with you, and kind of who took you on that journey? Yeah,
I mean, I would say like Bibi helped me a lot, right? When I came to Berlin for like the G2 tryouts and stuff, I remember I was like really nervous, and he helped me like just talking about whatever thing. And I mean, as well, like, right, like we have really similar personalities, so we can like, it was really easy to match with him. But yeah, I mean, I would say like the people like in esports that helped me the most, it was Bibi, and it was just talking, you know, just talking about like, for some teams or like some people, talking about like certain stuff is kind of like taboo. Like, for example, I've been in teams that people are just like insecure, you know, and it's just not good to like bring the stuff of like choking and like these things, because they maybe some guy in the team is like feeling really pressure, or he's actually aware that he's like sometimes choking. But in some teams, it's like really hard to like talk about this without people getting like really defensive. So I think when it comes to like pressure and like like establishing like a good link between the team, the players, I think the best work is just talking through everything. Just talk about the good things, but as well about the bad things. And I remember I talk a lot with Camilo especially. Because he's kind of like he's not the youngest in age, because Carlsen is actually the youngest.
Yeah.
But for sure, if you like compare personalities, I think Carlsen is like a bit more like grown up, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like bad intended. Camilo is like more like it's kind of like, I see kind of myself in Camilo, like just like the innocent kid that is just doing this because he like genuinely loves it and he's just really is having the best time of his life. But yeah, it's just mostly like talking, and I just talk about him. Like there's big chances that we go tomorrow on stage and you're just gonna shit your pants. It can happen. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but it can happen. And if that thing happens, it's better that happens on the game 1, week 1, day 1, that in best of 5, game 5.
Yeah. Damn. I respect how much you're striving to try to keep that open conversation and support your teammates. Like, what was it like for you coming up as the rookie? Is there anyone that you remember fondly? Is there any lessons that are really important to you now, or things that are really important to you now that you can trace back to experiences and kind of your rookie time on G2?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I was also very, very scared going into G2 because I also replaced Jankos, who was really like, still like it's like the GOAT of European youngers. So yeah, I love
it. There was a sassy wink from Flakked.
I didn't know anything.
But yeah, I was very, very nervous, and I think all the team is like BB for sure. Like especially on game days, BB was very good at just checking up on me, being very nice. But I think all of my teammates were like very nice, and I think the difference between like what Flakked and me is probably that we had Isma, and I guess you didn't have like a performance coach, and we had Isma, and he was really working a lot with me, and he really helped me like so much throughout the last 2 years. And yeah, I think it's like a big shout out to Isma, because I think he really helped me like a lot to grow as a person. He really got me out of my comfort zone, and I feel like I grew so much, and I feel like a different player, and I can teach. I guess not teach, but like I'm still like a bit troll, but I can help, like for example, Vlad and Kalista a lot mentally.
Yeah. So how does that take form? Flakked had talked a little bit about him, taking Camilo's side. Hey, look, you're gonna mess up. It's gonna be okay. Better that happens earlier rather than later. Like, what are you doing when it comes to talking to your teammates? Is it letting them know it's okay? Is it just setting a good example? Like, do you have any examples of what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with Vlad and Kalista is they're both a bit different. I think Vlad is like more of like the crazy one. He doesn't care, like he doesn't care like a lot. But Kalista is more like, he's more of the serious one. I can see some similarities in him with me being younger as well. So for sure, I have good talks with Kalista, and I can see that he's really like working hard. He has like a very good mindset, and we also have Clem and Yuen also here in KC. They're also helping us a lot. So yeah, I think I'm doing my best to help them be comfortable, but I feel like they already feel like very comfortable, which is a very good sign already.
Yeah. Looking at the rookies on both your teams, who is like the most different from how you were as a rookie? And is it weird at all, like when you work with that person, whoever it is, to see how different they are? Because I imagine you kind of, especially for both of you, you come in, you're basically the only rookie on the lineup, right? You're more or less the center of attention. A little different for you, Flakked, but mostly you guys are the rookies. They're looking at you, bam. Now you've got this whole class of rookies. You've only known your own experience, and now you're seeing all these rookies standing next to you. Who stands out to you the most in this process? Who's the most different from you?
For me, it's probably Vlad for sure. Like this guy is just he doesn't give a fuck about anything. Oh, I don't know if I can do good.
I grieved already.
I'll just a quick side note. Shout out to our editor Liz. Liz, I'm sorry. Because I've been doing it too. You guys are fine. It's my bad. We normally try not to do it too much, but this is for sure an episode with a lot of swear words. You're fine. You're fine.
Because I remember when I joined, I was like really like the humble little kid. I respect everyone. I listen to everything they said. Vlad is like, I guess he played summer, so he's not like really a rookie, but he's still a rookie in my eyes. But he doesn't care about a lot of stuff. He just like goes in, like if you think someone is bad, he's just gonna say this guy's bad. Like he's not. I mean, he's humble in his gameplay, but like when he talks about stuff, like he can be a bit crazy. Yeah. So for sure, I see a lot of difference between me and him then. And Kalis is more like me, I guess.
Yeah. Serious trying to absorb it all. How about for you, Flakked?
I mean, I would say like the most outstanding for me would be Carson, because I think at like such a young age and like the challenge he's facing, I think his mind is like really like well organized. I really like his mindset, and I really share like a lot of just kind of like the way he thinks about not only the game but about just like life. But yeah, I mean, I would say Carson to me is like the most outstanding one, because I remember when I was his age, I was kind of more like bloody, you know. I was kind of more like a bit crazy, and it wasn't until like, you know, the years passed by that I was like, you know, like reconsidering some things. But I feel like Carson is like already like really, he's like really well prepared mentally.
Yeah.
Do you find it changes you as a player, like trying to basically not be like a teacher as you were saying, but like you obviously have several learnings that have come from you as a rookie, and now you're stepping into a different role again. Like, what are those learnings that you've kind of taken into now being the dad of the team, or whatever you want to put yourself as?
I mean, I would say like the biggest learning for me, like especially in this team, I would say, because like usually I'm like really, I mean, I was gonna say loud, but it's not like loud, but usually I'm like happy, or like I have like really high energy, I would say. So that's the thing that I actually learned the most here, that especially like with considering my position or like Sheo position, that is kind of like the more experienced guys. I could feel it that some days when I'm a bit off for whatever reason, I could feel like there's like an impact, maybe like bigger like scale or like smaller scale, but I can tell for sure there's an impact. But I think as well, I think the biggest learnings for me as a player, I would say it was just overall is to be more patient with things and just give more time to things, and just be more patient, and that's pretty much about like life overall.
Jake, do you feel that same pressure to like really show up on the day and really set a good example? Like, do you notice if you have a bad day that it kind of affects everybody, maybe more than it did? Like, because I assume when you're a rookie on G2 and you run it down one day, people are like, okay, it's okay, kid, you had a tough day. But I imagine it's really different when you're the guy with the most experience. You're the guy coming in kind of with the pedigree and the expectations.
Yeah, for sure. It's very similar for me as well, because for sure I can see myself like as an emotional player, and sometimes like even in GT, you know, I could get like tilted from scrims, and it was easier for me to, you know, get back up because I had all the players, all the staff helping. But here is for sure different, because I can see the difference, you know, if I get like tilted in a scrim, that the vibe is like different. So for sure I focus a lot on that now. I want to be better than that, and I think I'm getting better at that, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, other than that, not much more differences I can see.
Bit of pressure. To kind of wrap this discussion up, I guess the question I have, and it could be as deep or as surface level as you want it, but you guys both brought up BB, you brought up Isma. When your teammates, your rookie teammates, like look back at the time that you spent with them, like what do you want them to remember? Like if they're on this podcast 2 years from now and they're talking about, oh, Flakked did X and Y, like what do you or Yike did X and Y, what do you want them to remember? Like how do you want them to look back at the time that you guys spent together?
You guys actually did.
Sorry.
You said you can answer this as shallow. How are you supposed to answer that in a shallow way?
Look, if this was about Jankos, you could have just been like, I want him to know that I'm better than him. You know,
sure.
like, like you can just make a joke out of it if you want. I don't want to like force you guys into a level of emotional depth that you don't want to give, you know?
I mean, to me, I would just say, it's just, I just want them to remember me as like the kind of like the same way I kind of saw Jankos in G2, like kind of like the like role model, I would say, as a teammate. Like I would, that's how I would like my teammates to remember me. Just a guy that like takes care of his job and takes care of everyone, like every human being. But yeah, I mean, I prefer more to be remembered like that, like good player and like the guy that really invests his life in this thing because it's really important for him, and rather than, you know, I was the guy that was getting butt slapped by his jungler. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I know it's a lot of honesty. I know, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's very hard. But I mean, I would probably say like they remember me as like I want them to be like proud of the time we spent together and just remember me as like a good teammate that always was there for them. I think that's very important that you always have someone, or hopefully like everyone in the team that's there for you. And yeah, just like a very good relationship. Like in 2 years, in 3 years, whatever. Like I want them to remember remember me as like a good guy.
Yeah.
I'd want my teammates to remember me as the person that made them, and their entire career belongs to me. Everything they've succeeded is because I had made them.
Okay, Rob. All right, let's calm it down a little bit. We talked about this. I do owe you, but we promised not to bring it up on the podcast. Yeah, thank you both for that. Right, the year is early. You guys have a lot of time with your teammates. I don't want to like oversell it and be, but I did want to know. And so thank you both for your honest answers. And now we'll do a seamless transition into a much less serious topic, which is our community questions. We went to Twitter. We asked for our favorite Yike and Flakked moments. Someone spelled your name Flecked in the script, so shout out to them.
It's a classic.
It's late night.
It's Cork people.
Let's start with our first clip from Pablo Soria Ferrer. I'm probably mispronouncing that, sorry.
He nailed it.
Flakked had the hit the Nexus incident that was so unlucky. I am also okay, I'm not going to ask the second thing because I don't know. There's too many Flakked memes that probably aren't appropriate for the podcast.
There's a video asset.
There's a video. Yeah, good. Bara, do we have the video? Can we remember this together?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Certus! Gotta get the Flakked hit the Nexus! Flakked hit the Nexus! Yo, series in 5 seconds! Series in 5 seconds! Flakked! What are you doing?
I forgot to test this. Okay.
Yeah.
This is your last chance to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Was it correct to hit the Nexus or not?
Okay, first of all, I want to give a message to like Spanish community because like a lot of people when like really they got like a bit triggered by like the casting because it sounds like I'm like completely griefing.
Yeah.
And like I think you got a bit of backlash. I did get a backlash. I might have got a hate threat or some DMs. I just want to like tell everyone that's watching this that it's just casting, right? It's like nothing personal. Yeah. I don't hate Drakos. I don't hate him.
I don't hate you either.
But I checked because I remember because I actually like I did the classic. We finish the game. I do the interviews, whatever. I go home and then get in the PC. I'm just gonna like tweet about the game, and then I see like a lot of tweets like I'm getting mega flamed, and I was like, bro, I just had the game of my life. I went like 12-1 on Lucian or something. I mega 1v9, and then I'm just getting mega flamed. And then I saw, and I actually checked, but I wasn't like triggered or anything because I was like really happy because we won the game, and I actually played like pretty good. And I checked, and if I remember properly, I think it was for sure it was hard to call.
Yeah.
It was hard to judge what was like the best play. But there was like someone spawning and Ari had ulti up.
Yeah.
So I felt like I couldn't ignore Ari at the moment.
Sure.
So I checked like it was like last year. So or no, it was like 2 years ago. It was summer, I think. So I at this point I don't remember. But for sure, when I checked, I think it was maybe I could have went for the Nexus.
Yeah.
But as well, if I killed Ari, because actually I remember I had like 75 or 80% crit chance.
Yeah.
And if I crit Ari in like I don't know how many bullets I did, but in one bullet, if that goes crit, I kill her and I can end the game. But I didn't get the crit.
Yeah. If you got flamed by the English community, that's my bad. That's for sure. I sent them. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I had the blinders on. Like a rookie support diving in on Rel, brain off. The second I said hit the Nexus, I wasn't gonna stop saying hit the Nexus until the game was over. I'm glad. It was mixed how people felt about that one, but I liked that moment. I remember that game. That was a poppin' Lucian game. Yike, yours is less controversial, is more positive.
Okay.
Soulfate921 says, I personally love Yikes Lilia Pentakill.
Oh yeah.
Memory lane.
Yikes Lilia, goated.
Lilia Pentakill.
The era of Yike Lilia.
That didn't get streamed as well because the stream crashed.
Oh, the stream.
goes in. He tries to
Why am I
get
casting all of
but it's
these?
not enough.
I mean, when I look back at this, I feel like I guess, yeah.
Once again, it is just the Yikes show.
He didn't want to give me it.
Penta. 4 looking for 5 as EUphoria runs for the hill. Swirl Seed will not connect.
I'm out of breath for what it's worth. But that's why I got quiet. I'm like, you're supposed to finish it there. Dang it, I'm swearing so much.
For me, it was a very big moment, of course. Like pentakill on stage, like LEC, and it was the last game of the finals. So for me, it was like very hype. Then I checked Twitter after, and everyone just says the stream died. I got like so sad. Like, what are the odds for that happening? That's crazy. And I got like so sad, but still, there was a pentakill. There was like still a co-stream. So
yeah. If you reminder to everyone, we're watching videos and you're hearing the audio, but if you want to watch the video, you can check it out on YouTube. And Justice for Yikes Pentakill. This is the first time you're seeing this, give him the love that he deserved in that moment.
Thank you.
I mean, to me, from that clip, the craziest thing is that Caps is not trying to get the penta. Because with me, the rat, he was like mega sweating. Like he would
always
actually
told me that as well.
He would actually prefer like stealing my penta and losing the game than me actually getting a penta. Like I don't do it that way.
It's actually true.
It's actually true.
Caps told me stories. Yeah, told me the stories.
In scrims, maybe I could have gotten like 20 pentakills, but like with Caps, maybe I got like 1 pentakill in scrims.
Yeah.
He was actually like crazy. If he had to commit Flash, Zonia, ulti, everything to get the penta, he would get it, and he would like start giggling next to me. It was biggest rat.
Oh my gosh. Look,
such a rat. He kept such a rat.
I don't know how he picks who he's going to mess with and who he's going to support, but there's a system in his head. He only messes with me, and I don't know how I got on that list. Every time I play any game with that boy, he's a psycho. Last one we'll do. We got a ton of great submissions. Thank you again to everyone who did submit their suggestions and provided clips, etc. The last one from Aspargatus. I was going to say asparagus. You have a sandal as your icon. Aspargatus matter. When BB stole Flakked's pose and made it his signature move.
Oh my
An
god.
iconic moment in League of Legends history. There it is behind us. We've settled this already.
I love my post.
We've settled this. This is if you missed the years of LEC that this is from, we've covered this. It's Flakked's pose officially.
It's my post.
BB has tried to deny it many times.
G2, when I was in MSI, they made like a poll on Instagram, and we were both doing the post, and people could vote, right? Mm-hmm. I think I won like 70%, 30%. My post.
You mean the era of your career where every single time anyone posted anything about you, like a million Spanish people just suddenly
Maybe.
It's hard to remember.
He didn't rig the system. It just works in his favor. Okay?
Democracy is a hell of a thing. Be more famous, BB, I guess, if he wants to win that one. Yike, final question for you before we close. Do you have a pose? Are you going to develop a pose?
I don't really have a post.
It's something to consider.
Yeah, I want to get a post actually. I think it's kind of cool to have like the poses, and I'm a bit sad that like whenever they ask me like, do you have a post? I'm like, no, sorry. And then I don't know. I used to do like something. I always do like this, like the kind of fake one. But now everyone says like it's not allowed anymore, so I can't do the shush.
They told me it's not allowed.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I see the video and I see like 3 people doing this.
Everyone did it as well. I was
like, that's probably why.
Maybe
they want something different.
I was the first. I did it the first day. They said you can't do it, and then when I see the clip after, like everyone just did it.
Yeah,
I don't want to start an international, but people are going to be upset about this, is all I'm going to say. So I'll check why that happened. But boys, let's not. Someone's going to be mad you're not allowed to do this. I don't know why. I don't know the context. Do you want to do? Should we do the last one? There's one more. We had one more.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do one more. We'll do one more because this one's wholesome. This one's really wholesome as hell.
Yeah.
Charlie at too many characters. Tianlu 3762. The LLA having Yikes mom doing an interview about his Peruvian heritage. Really love that he's representing us on the bigger stage. We got a picture from that one, I believe. The true last one. Maybe. Sorry, threw you off.
Yeah.
How is it when your mom shows up to an event? I have no doubt that you love your mom. Is it embarrassing? Is it nice? Is it sweet?
No, for me it's always sweet. It's always nice. Like the thing is, she doesn't even understand the game at all. She just comes to cheer for me, and she comes after the matches as well. Comes give me a hug even before the matches, and she's like so supportive. My mom, my dad, they like always come, and I mean, I just love having like the parents supporting you. I think it's very important, especially for me, and I really love it.
Yeah, Flakka, how about you? I know your parents support you. I've seen
for sure.
How else would I get my duck pictures? I know you're posting them, but I know they're not coming from you. You're in Berlin.
No, I mean, I'm really grateful for my parents. Like, they both support me a lot. I really love them, and they're like my biggest support. I mean, I'm pretty sad though because we never had the chance of like them coming to stage to come and watch me.
Yeah.
But I did have my brother and like some of my best friends and girlfriend. So yeah, it's I mean it's overall really good. Yeah. I mean, I would really like to bring my dad. I mean, my dad and my mom as well. I mean, if I could, like all my family.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for sure this year I will for sure try because it's really wonderful. It's really wholesome. The only issue though is I need glasses because I'm mega blind. So now if my dad is in the crowd, maybe I recognize him.
Like, who is that guy?
But yeah, if that day there's a lot of bald people on stage, then I'm not saying my dad.
You're just gonna smile and pretend you
I'm
don't.
gonna wave at everyone, and my dad will just,
Fantastic.
I remember my mom came to the studio like last year, a year or two ago, and they put her on camera, but she didn't know she was going to be on. And I swear I didn't hear the end of it for like 3 weeks, where she's like, "You put me on camera? You didn't tell me? I didn't know I was going to be on camera." It did not stop.
That's the thing. Is like your mom wants a warning. The pro player parents get no warning. They're like, "You're doing an interview. Come on stage." Like producers love that. Every time they find out one of any pro player's parents are in the building, they're like, "Get them." They're doing an interview right now. We need the emotional angle. So warn your dad if he does come. We'll find him. He's the bald guy.
I mean,
We know that.
you
We're
will find
ready.
him for
He's
sure.
the bald guy
You will
excited
find him for
about
sure.
you. Interview. Bam. Locked
You
in.
will find him for sure, yeah. Actually, the biggest goat though is Cap's dad though.
Cap's dad,
Cap's dad is
for
the
sure.
goat.
Cap's dad is the goat. He's always
Cap's dad is
there.
the goat.
He's
the
always
goat.
hanging out, always talking to everybody. That man is,
He's such a nice guy. I love him.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
every Arab, I love it. Every Arab G2 player knows the Caps dad.
Yeah.
The love. That's going to do it for this episode. Boys, thank you again for coming on. I know it's been a super long
appreciate it,
day
lads.
for you.
Thank you.
Wish you nothing but the best of luck in week 3 and on to playoffs, as I'm sure you'll both be there. Both of you.
Thank you. Both of us.
you. You'll
No
both
more
be there.
level 1 action.
No more level 1
Now we
action.
just
You're gonna
cover,
be there.
chill.
You're going to be there. You've got this. For now, you're going to break day tomorrow. By the time people are watching, this will be just a few days away from the final week of the LEC regular season. After that, there is a break week, followed by the start of our playoffs, which will be fearless, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.